What if one LEGO game changed everything and basically created the modern LEGO formula? After 7 years of doing the exact same thing but with different properties, TT decided to shake things up by adding full voice acting and a true open world into the mix. But did this actually improve the game or hinder them? This is where LEGO games started to feel bigger but also a lot messier. Let's take a look at their first attempt, LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. You play as Batman, Robin and eventually Superman as they attempt to stop Lex Luthor and the Joker. Lex wants to use Joker's gas to brainwash voters and become president. It sounds silly and ripped right out of a comic, perfect for a LEGO game. The story is much more cinematic than the last game, in large part due to the voice acting. It's a lot easier to tell a compelling story with character arcs when the characters can actually talk. I find it less charming than when they used to mumble, but it isn't hard to argue the story is better than the first. The dialogue just isn't that funny compared to the visual jokes. Like Joker saying, "Hey, do you like X because I think X are gonna like you," 2 times, and on the 3rd he gives up saying it. It's nowhere near as funny as him kicking the Batwing and getting caught in a back-shaped net. Because of the dialogue, there is less humour overall. The voice acting is fantastic, everyone sounds like their characters. Troy Baker does a great Batman and Travis Willingham does a Superman. But the trade-off is having a story, so was it worth it? This is still mainly a Batman game. The first half of the game is Batman with Robin taking down his classic Rogues Gallery. There isn't much of a disappointed father vibe this time around. He kinda just tells him to do stuff or to focus, which I wasn't a big fan of. Then for the second half, Superman arrives. Batman does not like Superman and must learn to work together as a team. This is the main arc of the story and it is the best part. Their odd couple dynamic leads to the most memorable moments in the game. Like at the start of the game, Batman drives his boat into a building. Later, Superman shows up and says he's fixed it and how Batman should try not to make a mess. This annoys Batman. It could be jealousy over his powers, or his optimistic attitude just annoys him. My favourite moment is when a trap door is open underneath both heroes. Batman falls and Superman stays there because he can fly. It takes him a sec to even notice Batman is gone. Superman is portrayed well here for his first LEGO outing. You might have noticed it's called DC Superheroes. This is a bit misleading. They really should have called it LEGO Batman and Superman and left the other heroes as a surprise. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash and Cyborg only show up for the last 2 missions of the game. Then LEGO Batman 3 should have been called LEGO Justice League. It's nice to see him play as them, but they don't impact the story that much. The focus is on Batman and Superman, not them. I liked the story but I didn't love it. The dialogue makes the game feel aimed towards kids. It might sound weird but the slapstick works for all ages, well at least it does for me. This wasn't the only big change, there is also the gameplay. Let's start with what's the same. You still go through levels fighting, destroying and puzzle solving. If you played the last one you'll feel right at home here. They have added new stuff like being able to pull off special moves if you get a combo going, or there are new bricks you can interact with like gold ones that have to be lasered. The suit system has returned, there are less suits overall but the ones you do have can do multiple things now. A welcome change. Instead of the bomb suit now you have the power suit. This can blow up silver bricks like before and now you also have super strength. Or with Robin's tech suit you can now double jump, make a swingable pole as well as controlling stuff. This adds a lot to the puzzle solving, you have to think more about what your suit can do instead of knowing immediately what you have to do to progress. With Superman being added we also have flying mechanics, which works well enough in these levels for TT's first attempt. You rise with one button and fall with the other. Inside levels you have to find 10 mini-kits and a citizen in peril like before. The red bricks are hidden in the open world this time around. If you only play the levels this is like the first game but more. You go to a lot of locations from Arkham Asylum, the subway and even Metropolis. Environments are a lot more detailed but they don't have the variety of the first game. The levels all take place one after each other. You get to each by travelling in the open world. This leads to the game not having a bunch of different locations like the first. You go from building to street to subway to another building. It makes sense for the story and the open world, but it does leave all locations feeling similar. Each level felt distinct in the original in a way this one doesn't. There are vehicle sections in these levels and they are different from the first. I didn't like them much in the first game, I really don't enjoy them here. You're on rails going in a loop and you have to just keep shooting. That's it, there isn't much thought or freedom to it. They go on for way too long but hey, at least I didn't have to tow anything. I did find it funny that Superman is technically a vehicle for these parts. It's time for the big change, the open world. I don't hate it. This is one of the better open worlds in LEGO games, because it's not massive here and there's no random characters talking to you making crap jokes stopping you from playing the game like in the newer entries. Gotham looks great. There are iconic locations like Arkham and Ace Chemicals, but I felt like there could have been more, and the city could have been more gothic. Right now it feels like a city but not Gotham City. The fact it's always nighttime does help though. Whilst in the open world, characters will start to sprint after a few sections, which is lovely. Vehicles can be driven, they control shockingly well like it's LEGO GTA. Flying is where things fall apart. In levels it's fine. In open worlds you're not really flying, you're steering a cursor. It feels awkward slow, then suddenly way too fast. You never feel in control, it takes a bit of getting used to. Playing the Superman theme when flying as him is an inspired choice though. The thing letting the open world down is the collectathon. You have to find so many gold bricks and repeated puzzles. It's not interesting. Some are just out in the open or behind gold walls. Some are unlocked by doing races or destroying fire objects in an area. It's very mind-numbing. The best are the ones where they expect you to be Batman or Robin. You start off on the street and have to work your way up to the roofs with their suit powers. I didn't mind these. They actually took a bit of thought. You can bypass them though by swapping to different characters. There is at least one character that can do each of their suit powers if you want to cheat. It doesn't take too long to get all the gold bricks, but it definitely wears out his welcome by the end. Ambitious but bigger isn't always better. Also, finding all the gold bricks only unlocks Supergirl. What a waste of time, we already got Superman. When I played this one with my dad, he used to spend the entire time flying around as Superman so he could hear the theme song. Then he would just watch his idle animation where he would flex like Hulk Hogan and laugh at it. I guess I'm sharing a memory for each of these videos. Ultimately, this game does hold up. It is a good sequel and a fun time if you stick to the levels. The story is enjoyable and compelling, but it's not as charming as the first. The open world is ambitious, but it doesn't really add anything for me besides busy work. Hopefully Legacy of the Dark Knight can avoid this trapfall. LEGO Batman 2 didn't just change the series, it defined every LEGO game that came after, for better and for worse. Time to rank it. First, I didn't enjoy this more than the first. It's technically a better game overall, but the open world is a big minus for me. I'm feeling number 39. The story and levels were more enjoyable to me than Wild Hearts, and both got a bit boring in different ways by the end. But I can't put it above Angel Engine, which managed to be enjoyable for its whole runtime. New number 39. A super sequel that didn't quite stick the landing.